was standing in her door frame, not even close to the TV cell on the other side. So she was literally standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was literally slamming the door on her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Her arm was like literally almost getting free with his arm around her neck.
She had dropped off her son at school that day, left him a note. Always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. I love you so much. Then she walked toward her vehicle, ready to head to work. This isn't about a cold case from decades ago. This isn't some mystery that's been solved and wrapped up with a bow. This is about September 8th, 2025, a Monday morning in Chicago. A mother who dropped her son off at school, left a note in his lunchbox, and never made it to work. At approximately 8:15 a.m. on September 8th, 2025, a mother named Romeca Meeks did something millions of parents do. She dropped her son off at school. She left him a note in his lunchbox. A simple, loving gesture. Minutes later, less than an hour later, Romeca lay dying on a sidewalk near Cermak Road and State Street in Chicago. The woman who loved her child, cared for others as a certified nursing assistant, was gone. I just dropped off my baby, were reportedly her last words. The words of a mother amid chaos, confusion, fear. Hello everyone, welcome to Untold Crime Diaries. Before we begin, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to family and friends of Romeca Meeks, as well as everyone affected by this tragedy. If you felt concern for the victim, hit the like button and subscribe to support us in raising a voice for justice for the victim. Her name was Romeca Meeks. She was 31 years old, a certified nursing assistant. A woman who spent her days caring for others, the elderly, the vulnerable, the people who needed her most. And on that morning, near the corner of Cermak Road and State Street, she was shot 5 times at point-blank range, in broad daylight, with witnesses watching. And the person who pulled the trigger? She walked free. This is the story of Romeca Meeks. And I need to warn you, it's going to make you angry. It's going to break your heart. And it's going to make you question how something like this could happen in 2025. Let's talk about it. To understand what happened that morning, we need to go back. Not years, just months. Romeca Meeks had been in a relationship with a man named Carlos since 2016. Nearly a decade together. They had a son. They were a complicated family, yes, but a family nonetheless. Like a lot of relationships, there's had their ups and downs. Volatility, arguments, breakup and makeup. And eventually, it ended. Carlos moved on. He started dating a woman named Holly Johnson. She was 27. And in early 2025, she gave birth to his second child. Now, here's where things get messy. Because while Carlos had moved on, the past wasn't quite finished with him, or with Romeca, or with Holly. Social media became a battlefield. Holly Johnson posted videos, rants, some of them aimed directly at Romeca. In one video recorded months before the shooting, Holly mocked Romeca's job as a nursing assistant. "I'd never wipe old people for a living," she said. She made fun of Romeca's finances, her car, her life, and then she said something chilling. "She burnt me while I was pregnant." Now Romeca, she tried to stay out of it. According to her family, she had blocked Holly on all social media platforms. She wanted no part of the drama. But Holly kept finding ways in, lurking, watching, making comments to mutual acquaintances. Romeca even wrote privately in a post her family would later release that Holly was telling people I stalk her. The harassment was constant, psychological, exhausting, and it was escalating. By September 2025, there were whispers of restraining orders, conflicting reports about who filed against whom, court documents that may or may not exist. What we know for sure is this: 2 women, 1 man, and a jealousy that was about to turn fatal. September 8th, 2025, 8:15 in the morning. Romeca Meeks is driving her white sedan through the South Loop of Chicago. She's just dropped her son off at school. She left him a note in his lunchbox, the kind of small, everyday act of love that parents do without thinking. She's heading to work. She has no idea that two vehicles are tracking her movements, a black Mercedes truck and a small black car. Carlos is driving the truck. Holly Johnson is in the car, near Cermak Road and State Street, both vehicles close in. According to an eyewitness, a woman commuting on a nearby bus, they didn't just happen to be there. They positioned themselves strategically, blocking Romeca's exit, trapping her at the curb. The witness would later say it looked like a setup. Carlos gets out first. He approaches Romeca's car, and then he assaults her. He slams the car door on her back, grabs her by the waist, by the neck. Romeca is trying to break free. She's shouting, "I just dropped off my baby. I just dropped off my baby." Those were her words. In that moment, terrified, desperate, try and make them understand she was a mother. She had a child waiting for her at the end of the day. She manages to pull away from Carlos. And that's when Holly Johnson steps out of her car. The eyewitness, the woman on the bus, sees everything. She hears Holly scream, "I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you." And Carlos doesn't try to stop her. Instead, he says, "She's gonna get her gun. She's gonna get her gun, watch." Holly walks to the passenger side of her vehicle. She retrieves a firearm. She circles around the car, and she fires. 5 shots, point-blank range. Romeca is hit in the face, the side, the thigh. She collapses. The gun jams. Otherwise, the witness would later say,
She was standing in her door frame, not even close to the sound of the other side. So she was really standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was really slamming the door on her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Her arm was like literally almost getting free with his arm around her neck this time, because he was holding her by the waist in the beginning and she wiggled out, you know. After this happened, he had her in the, like, almost looking like a headlock to me on the side, and then she stated, the other baby mama stated, "I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you, bitch." And he stated, she's gonna go get her gun. She's gonna go get her gun. Watch. And after this happened, she ran to the passenger side of her vehicle, grabbed her gun, went around, and when the woman, the mother, you know, who slipped away from him for at least like maybe a good second, as soon as she slipped away, she shot her. And she shot her in the face, on her side, and in her thigh. And
Holly might have kept shooting. People are screaming. The eyewitness is on the phone with 911, giving real-time testimony. Arrest her! Arrest her! Witnesses are shouting at responding officers. The woman on the bus points directly at Holly's car. The gun's on the passenger side. Chicago police arrived. Holly Johnson is taken into custody. And then this is where the story takes a turn that will make your blood boil. She's released. No charges. Let me say that again. Holly Johnson, who multiple witnesses say shot Romeca Meeks 5 times at close range, was released without charges. The official statement from Chicago police: the person taken into custody following the fatal shooting of 31-year-old Romeca Meeks has been released without charges. The investigation is ongoing. Insufficient evidence, they said, despite the eyewitness testimony, despite the 911 call, despite the gun which Holly admitted she had a concealed carry permit for, but which she hid instead of surrendering. Holly later called the witnesses snitches. And Carlos? According to the eyewitness, after the shooting, he fist bumped Holly. He said, "It was self-defense, right?" And Holly nodded. Self-defense. Against a woman they had cornered. That Carlos had physically assaulted. That Holly had threatened before pulling the trigger. Self-defense. Romeca Meeks was 31 years old. She was a certified nursing assistant, a job that required patience, compassion, and an enormous amount of heart. She cared for people who couldn't care for themselves. She was a mother, a daughter, a friend. Her mother, Tina McMiller, spoke out after the shooting. "Someone has to pay for this," she said. "It's not right." And she's right. It's not right that Romeca dropped her son off at school and never came home.
Down at your heart, and your mama will always be right there for you. You want to say something to her, look down at your heart, and whatever you say to her, say it to her right there. The same way I have to do. I have to look right there, and I have to talk to her and ask her, just tell me what happened. And then she wrote him a note in his lunchbox. And on the back of the note, he responded and said, "I love you more, Mom."
It's not right that witnesses watch a murder in broad daylight and the shooter walked free. It's not right that a mother's final words were, "I just dropped off my baby and no one could save her." This case is still open. Technically, the Chicago Police Department says it's under investigation. But as of now, no one has been charged. No one has been held accountable. And a little boy somewhere in Chicago is growing up without his mother. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to ask you something. If this story matters to you, if you believe Romeca Meeks deserves justice, share this video. Use the hashtag Justice for Romeca. Tag the Chicago Police Department. Tag your local news. Tag anyone who will listen. Because the only way cases like this are solved is when people refuse to let them fade into silence. Romeca Meeks mattered. Her life mattered. And her son deserves to know that the world didn't forget his mother. Thank you for watching. And please, take care of each other out there.